Let's go ahead and take a look at 9.1.7 and 9.1.9. These questions are asking you to find the critical value given some level of confidence. And in this chapter 9.1, we are creating confidence intervals for proportions. So we're going to estimate what the population proportion would be. Instead of with a single value, we're going to be doing it with an interval. And to do that, you need a lower bound and an upper bound. And what you find out is to create a confidence interval, which is just two numbers, you need your point estimate. Again, this is for a proportion. And then you need your critical value. And then this piece here, that's your standard error that we learned about in Chapter 8. And so these problems are just finding the critical values, because to do that, before you can find a confidence interval, you need a critical value. And so in this case, we're looking for Z alpha over 2. That corresponds to the 98% confidence interval. That means alpha is 0.02, but the alpha divided by 2 is 0.01. In the end, what we're trying to do is find a lower bound and an upper bound for the estimate for the proportion, population proportion. And so 98% confidence means it's going to go some value from the lower bound to the upper bound. And then we're left with 2%, but on each side you have 1%. That's the alpha divided by 2. And so in order to calculate that value, you go to we can go to a list of values for a critical value. Let me show you where you'd get that. And so we have those values somewhere on your note sheets right here. And so if you're given a 90 for a proportion, if you're given a 90, a 95, and a 99, you have the critical values right here. In this case, we're given 98, so we don't have it. And so what we need to use in this case, we need to use a stack crunch. And so we'll do both these real quick. This is an 80% confidence interval, so that's 0.20 or 0.10 on both sides. And so what you're going to do is go to the normal calculator, 0, 1, and then we're going to put on this side over here on the right side, I'm going to put alpha over 2, 0.01. That's for the 98% one. And so notice, you need the greater than sign. The critical values are on the positive side, 0.01. So you notice that we get a critical value of 2.33 would be your critical value right here. 2.33. And then for this one here, we're going to put alpha over 2 as 0.10. So in this case here, you're going to put a 0.10 here. And so then you get 1.28 would be the other value right there. And that's how you find a critical value so that you could eventually find a confidence interval.